Okay, we are on lesson E, applications of quadratic equations. So we are looking at 4 specific problem-solving questions. Now, most of the problem-solving questions that we're going to get are always going to deal with some sort of a projectile where it's being launched and then it's going to land. So what we typically have for any graph, because again, we're only using quadrant 1 because quadrant 1 is all the problem-solving graph. It's got all the positive values for x and for y. That's why we use it. So this is positive y. They're saying ht is height in meters. So this is ht, and it's height in meters. Over here we've got time, and we're in seconds. Okay, so time in seconds, height in meters. So what is our y-intercept of this question? It's written in general form. So in general form, it's either the A, the B, or the C. It's one of those letters. Pardon? It is 1. It's the C value. So right here, that's our y-intercept. So we know they're starting at positive 1. Okay? It's going to launch up, and then it's going to come down. Now, if it asks us where it lands, that's where it lands. So it's always going to want us to find an X-intercept of some sort. So that's where we grab our calculators, and we're going to be dealing with finding the X-intercept. So let's grab our calculator. I have to open my calculator again. Hang on here. Let's get this guy going. Okay, so in your y equals, everyone's going to go to y equals, and we're going to put that negative 4.9x squared plus 24.46x. Whoa. I know, I see that. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's a 0.46x plus what? Okay, and then in y2, what do we always need in there? 0. Good. We need 0 in there, and I'm going to make it a thicker line. There we go. We're making it a thicker line. Okay, let's see if we can see what happened. Do we see the top of it? That's okay, because watch what happens. I can go zoom 0. Likely your setting is right. Exactly. So mostly your graphs will be set to the last window we're on. Okay? So all you've got to hit is zoom and then 0. Zoom to the top in the middle. Okay, so if you hit zoom 0, it's called the fit graph. So, yep. Because you forgot the negative sign in front of 4.9. Yeah. So your y equals?
You can subtract.
Plus 9. Okay. Yeah. You didn't get the same thing?
No, I did, but then I pressed something and now I'm on something.
Okay, I'll come help you.
No, it's okay.
Did you figure it? All we're going to do is find the X-intercept. So I'm just going to move my graph up a little bit. I'm going to make my Y minimum lower. Like my Y minimum is at 733. So I'm going to make it lower, maybe to negative 100. And then my top being at 31 is fine. So now we're just going to hit graph. There we go. That's a better graph. You just got to play with your windows. Okay, so now we're going to hit second trace. What number do we hit? Find X-intercepts. 5. Good. And now we hit enter how many times? 3. But we've got to move the cursor. Which one is it going to find for us over here? It's going to find the negative one. Do we want the negative one for problem solving?
Yeah.
Never. So we have to move our arrow to the right. You want to move halfway. So if you already hit enter 3 times, just start over. Second enter number 5. Or sorry, second trace number 5. Once you move your cursor past halfway, then you hit enter 3 times. Now we get 5.03. So we want to find the X-intercept. So we found the X-intercept, which is at 5.03 seconds. So the question is talking about the flight time for a ski jumper And it's saying, when is he going to hit the water? Because a lot of ski jumpers, when they train actually in water. Okay, so that when they land, they're not going to hurt themselves. So a lot of them train in water. There's a big one right here, actually. So, X-Intercept 5.03. So we're typically always going to be finding an X-Intercept. Okay? All right. When we go to a situation like this, if it didn't ask us how to round, we always round 2 decimal places because it's the most accurate. Okay? All right, let's check the next one. The next one is an archway. So with archways and doorways, and you're often going to get bridges like this as well. So we get some of our parabolas going down. Okay, that's a parabola going down. And this one is as well. It's just a doorway, but it's an arch. Okay, so there's our doorway arch. Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to change our equation in our y equals. Okay. Now let's see what it's actually asking us. So it says the entry to a main exhibit hall in an art gallery is a parabolic arch. The arch can be modeled by this function, where height and width are measured in feet. Several sculptures are going to be delivered to the hall in crates. Each crate is a square-based rectangular prism that is 7.5 feet high. What is the maximum width of that crate that can enter through the arch? So we need to know the maximum width of that. So what we need to do is we need to find, in our problem solving, we're going to have our arch. Now, do we have any Y-intercept at the end? Do you see a digit at the end? No, so that means it goes through 0, 0. So we're starting right at 0, 0, and then we're coming down, because that's our arch. Okay? Now, the crate is 7.5 feet high. So that means what we're going to do is we're going to make 7.5 feet go across. And that's what we're going to do intersection. So we're going to intersect right here, intersect right here. We're going to get those X numbers. We're going to get both of those X numbers, and then we have to subtract them. We subtract them so we know how wide the crate will fit. Okay, that's what we have to do. So, we've labeled a plan. Now we got to go to our calculator and type in the actual equation. So, in my y equals, in the y1, I'm changing my equation. I'm going to clear that guy out, and I'm going to have negative 0.625 x squared plus 5x. Okay? Everybody got your equation in your calculators? Alright, so now you're going to hit graph. Alright, so there we see it. We're just going to adjust our window a little bit so that let's go to our window. We're going to go -5, 10, and 1. But the y's, we're going to go -15, 20, and 5. Okay? It's in your notes. Yeah, it's that equation. Okay, I'll show you in the y equals. So everybody got their window done? Okay, back row, make sure you guys are doing this, not just writing on the table. Not kidding, because if you don't know how to do this kind of quiz or test, you're out of luck. Alright, so there's your equation, negative 0.625x squared plus 5x. You probably want to use a calculator that you returned. Alright, so now when we have 0, we don't want to find where it intersects the ground. We want to find out where it intersects 7.5. So we're going to put in 7.5. Okay? And once everybody's got that 7.5, we are now going to hit graph. Okay? While we're doing these notes, I expect you guys to pay attention and follow along. You can do all that stuff after. Alright, we're going to intersect here and here. So, Second trace, number 5. Now, look where my cursor is. You want to make him closer to one of the sides. Right now he's closer to where those two touch, so I'm going to hit enter 3 times. Because instead of 0, you can replace it with 7.5 in your y equals. So in y2, instead of the 0, type in 7.5. Okay, so the first one we got, x is 2. Okay, now we're going to go to the next one. Second trace, number 5. Now we got to move our cursor because he's still sitting on that other guy. So you have to use your right arrow and move the cursor. Move it way over to the right. And now you're going to hit enter 3 times. And that one is 6. So the x numbers we get are 2 and 6. And we want to know how wide can that crate be? Well, what is the difference between 2 and 6? 4. So that means from here to here is 4 feet. So the width of the crate can be a maximum of 4 feet. Okay? So the width is max 4 feet. Okay? Maximum 4 feet. Can't be done otherwise. Well, you smash into the door here and you're not getting it through.
Or you can take the wheels off the bottom.
I suppose, yeah, you can take the wheels off the bottom, make it shorter.
Lay it on the side.
Lay it on its side. Yeah, there's lots of ways to do it. All right, let's look at the next question. We have 2 left. That would help with it. Okay, this one's talking about a triangle. So it says the length of the hypotenuse of a right triangle is 1 centimeter more than triple that of the shortest leg. So we got to draw this. So, of the short leg, well, we're going to call this guy the short one. And he's x. Short leg is x, because that's what we're comparing everything to. So you always have to make something equal to x. So we're having that the short leg. So it says the hypotenuse is 1 more than triple this. So it's triple that guy plus 1 more. That's the hypotenuse. Then it says the length of the the longer leg, this guy here, is 1 centimeter less than triple. So it's going to be this guy subtract 1. So 3x subtract 1 is this guy. Okay? Now it says find the length of the 3 sides of the triangle. Oh yes. So this is our a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay? And this is going to take us a lot of work. So be ready here. Here we go. So this is our a, our b, and our c in terms of Pythagorean theorem. So we've got x squared plus 3x plus 1 squared. There's our a squared and our b squared. Equals 3x plus 1 squared. So we need to do FOIL on both of those that are squared. Okay? So we're going to area box or FOIL it. So, since we're running out of time, I will just give you the numbers real quick here. Plus 9x squared minus 6x plus 1 equals 9x squared plus 6x plus 1. Now we got to bring everything on the right to the left-hand side. Bless you, bless you. So all of this is going to become the opposite side, and it's going to sit underneath those other guys. So, negative 9x squared, these guys will cancel out. Negative 6x, we get more x's, and a negative 1. These guys cancel out. So we're going to end up with x squared and a negative 12x equals 0. Now we're just Gcf factoring. What can we divide out of those? We're able to divide out of those guys. just x. Yeah. Sorry, I'll move it up a little bit. There we go. So we will remove x, and it becomes x minus 12 equals 0. Now we see how big x is. So x equals 0 here on the first one. And the brackets, how big is the bracket? What makes that bracket equal 0? Plus 12. Good job. So our answers are 0 and 12. Well, are you going to have a side length of a triangle that's 0? No, if you don't, that means you don't have a triangle. You only have 2 sides. If the third side is 0, it means you don't have a third side. So that means we're not going to be using the 0 answer. We're going to be using the 12 answer. So now we go over to our triangle and we say, okay, well, x is 12. This guy here is 12 meters. And then we go over to this guy here. We put, sorry? Okay, well, we go 3 times 12 minus 1, so it's going to give us 35. And this one's 3 times 12 plus 1 to give us 37. So our legs are 12, 35, and 37. Okay? I will finish taking the last question. I will see you tomorrow. Make sure you've got your stuff with you. Yeah, just grab it. It's charging there. Okay, let's finish this last question. You've got a couple minutes to look at it. Let's make sure you've got the correct window. So the window that matches this question should be negative 40, 50, and 10, negative 1500, 200, and 100. That'll help raise your graph so you can see it. So, that should be is, as we discussed earlier, so determine the value of the two numbers. So, if we say we need a legend, which says x is going to be the larger number, and then x minus 18 is going to be the smaller number. So we've got our window and our legend. So now we can actually solve the equation. So they tell us we've got x times x minus 18 is equal to 1,075. So we're going to multiply in and bring that guy over. So x squared minus 18x minus 1075 equals 0. Now we're going to throw him into a diamond or quadratic formula, and we're going to get x minus 43 and x plus 25 equals 0. We always want the positive answer. This one comes out as x equals 43. This one comes out as x equals negative 25. Problem solving, we're not going with the negative answer. So in this case, the numbers are 43 and then 18 minus that, 25. So 43 and positive 25. Okay, check your work. This concludes problem solving lesson 2E.